Hey everyone, it is Tuesday and we are actually finishing up Zelda Link's Awakening. We're playing the 2019 Nintendo Switch remake. If you are new here, this is normally a retro channel and I've got all my stuff behind me. Well, I'll explain in a minute. We got a couple minutes just before we actually start. Now this is a special one because this will be the last live stream for this one before we move on to a new game. So if you want to check out other videos leading up to this, I have done an entire playthrough of this game, Zelda Link's Awakening, here on the Nintendo Switch. But there are other games that I have played. I'm a huge Zelda fan, so there are playlists for Ocarina of Time, which I have some subscribers who actually want me to do yet another live stream. Ocarina is my favorite game of all time. I have no problem whatsoever doing that. But in case you want to watch, I have already done a full video playlist playthrough of Zelda Ocarina of Time, so you can check that out. There are other fan favorites like Star Fox. Of course, there was the big news about the Star Fox remake for the Nintendo Switch 2, so that is actually... I did a live stream just for that one day, playing the original N64, which is actually sitting here behind me. So this AV card is something that I've made myself. I put this together. Not only can I play on this, but I can also plug it in to stream directly for you guys to watch here on these videos on my channel. And I can use my CRT TV, this old school tube TV. Right now I've got it playing Super Mario 64, so also huge, legendary game. But everything behind me, I know it's kind of dark, but I have this cart full of all my old consoles and stuff. So there's plenty of games to look at, plenty of games that I'm going to be playing. What is up, Linkslayer92? I appreciate you. I see you said hello. Hope you had a good weekend. But yeah, this is our final playthrough. So if you like this sort of content, if you like retro gaming, this is heavily retro gaming, then subscribe or consider subscribing. But right now we are going to finish this game, and it should be kind of a short one because it is just kind of the final boss of this game. If you've never seen this or haven't played this. But if I've got a little bit of time, I may just do, tie up a couple of loose ends if I can remember any. I don't think I'm going to do a 100% playthrough of this game, but if that's something you guys would like to see, then I could consider doing that. The next in line, the next game we're going to be doing, which was promised, was Super Metroid. But we will get to that the next time. So my regular streaming times for these games are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11:45 a.m. Central. If you want to join us in the chat, I absolutely love talking to you guys. You guys know that. The ones who are here on a regular basis know that. I am not adverse to getting help when I need it because I have a lot of games in my library because I've been collecting games for a long time. And even though I've had them in some cases for nearly 40 years, which is ridiculous to think about, there are still games that I either haven't beat, I was a kid and I never beat them, or I just got them. You know how it goes. There's a sale on something and you just rack up games. Well, I've been doing that for decades now. So it's getting pretty ridiculous, but that is one of the reasons that I made this channel in the first place, because I sort of wanted to hold myself responsible for playing these games that I have either paid money for or they were gifts that were given to me, and there are entire games that people say are masterpieces that I have not finished, or in some cases even started. So shame on me. I'm trying to fix that. So we are right at it. So it is now 11:48 if I'm looking at my clock over here. Mount Tamaranch. So this is the final. I do not have a third bottle. We will have to get that, maybe. I have 2 fairies, and I don't know if I'm going to need bombs or not. I don't quite remember. But we are definitely going to have our boomerang. Oh, are you at the Windfish? I am indeed, Linkslayer. This is the final showdown here. We are at... I have purposely left it out of my last stream so that people would come in and watch, because we're going to cue the egg here in a second. So, if this is something you haven't done before, I definitely recommend saving here, maybe getting all your fairies and everything in place. And there is one more thing that I mentioned in my last. We're gonna get to it here in like literally 2 minutes. But let's walk up here and cue the cinematic cut. I don't know if you have to run into it. What have we done here? Do we play our ocarina? Is that it? We play Marin's song. Let's go ahead and play the Ballad of the Windfish in front of the egg. We have all of our instruments. Let's go. If I can make a suggestion, the library holds the answer. You will see. Yes, that is exactly what I was talking about. We're gonna get to that in just 1 second. Summoned all of our instruments. Nice. Sounds amazing altogether, honestly. Yes, it does. One of the things I talked about in one of my live streams, the composer, I don't know if he was the composer for this or if he was the arranger. I can't remember exactly, but the guy who from the original to this remake made an artistic decision to make all of the themes kind of small in that they weren't like super orchestrated things. They were all like very cutesy single instruments, just to kind of make everything more miniature. Like everything looks like a miniature scale of what we would encounter in a quote-unquote more mature Zelda game. So his use of single instruments for things made everything just seem more down to earth and small. And then when you have really big moments in the game, then you get like the full orchestration. Like I talked about the face shrine music in this particular remake, not in the original, where he decided to orchestrate and really fill out the wall of sound that came at you. The contrast added to how epic this whole tale became, in my opinion. The time has come, the windfish awaits. Enter the egg, hoot hoot. Alright, let's do it. I have on my red tunic, by the way. I got that in the color dungeon. You can always go back to the color dungeon if you have completed that. Again, that is only in the remake and the Color DX Game Boy Color version from '98. You go into the color dungeon and you can either choose boosting your attack, which is the red tunic, or you can boost your defense, which is the blue tunic. I have chosen to go for attack. I don't necessarily think I'm gonna need all of my fairies, so it's kind of nicer just to get that the offensive boost. So, as a Link Slayer mentioned in the chat, which I appreciate, one of the things that you'll notice is that there is a... Well, you're gonna check it out here in a minute if you've never done this. So this is your map. Oh, you don't have a map. This is just what it looks like when you walk in. And no matter which direction you go, it just takes you right back to this central room. So, what you are supposed to do, and we did it in, I don't know if it was a couple streams ago, but you're wandering around here and there's like there's no way out. So like, what do you do? Well, this is the main room. If we go down one more, then you leave the egg. But if you're here, you go one more and yeah, then you leave the egg. So what you're supposed to do is go to the library in Maid Village, And the library has I believe it was a red book in the color version, and I think here in the remake it was a red book or maybe a black book. It's one that is different from all the other ones that you get in the library. And all it tells you is something about the secret passage of the egg, or something like that. And all it is a list of arrows. And I believe, and correct me if I'm mistaken here, Link Slayer, you seem to be in the chat and you know this, but every time, if you start a new save file or start a new game, it's always different. So you cannot take a different arrangement of directions from a different game, a different playthrough. So what I have done is I literally wrote down passageway of the egg, and I've got arrows. You probably can't see this here, but this is literally what it looks like in the library. It's literally just arrows, left, right, up, down, combinations of them. So you have to write them down because, like I said, they are different every single time. So we'll switch back to our game cam. And so, like a true 90s child here, and without using the internet, I've got, at least on my version, I've got left, up, left again, up again, right, and I keep looking back, right, up, right, up. Okay, so this last one is up. So let me put my notebook down. We are going to go up, and that should get us right here. So I don't know, maybe one of you in the chat, or if you're watching this video later, I do keep these in my videos on demand as playlists, and they are all in order for you guys. But if you have your own playthrough of this game, I think Dunk Nasty was playing this game. He may view this video later, or he may join us. If he writes down his list of arrows, they may be different than mine. I haven't fact-checked that, so I don't know. You guys will want to try yourself. Boss time, let's go. We are doing this. So this guy is known as the Shadow of Nightmares. We were born of nightmares. To take over this world, we made the windfish sleep endlessly. If the windfish doesn't wake up, this island will never disappear. We would have been the masters of this place. But you had to come here and disrupt our plan. So all of a sudden, all these things come to fruition. If you want to talk about ruining everything for this island, then I guess success is fruition of you know what Link has been going through, with the owl helping him, telling him to do all of this. This is the first time they actually sound like a villain too. Yes, that's true. Hey, you can never defeat us. Let's rumble. So what happens here, as you're about to see, is basically a version of many of the bosses we have already defeated. But then there's also a version of kind of like Link to the Past Ganon, or Aghanim, if you will. They're very similar. So the first thing here, okay, so we already noticed that this is one of these. I forget the bosses' names, but these are all bosses that you have fought before. So you have to remember what it was that you did. So we're going to use the magic powder, if I remember correctly. Hit it with magic. And that's what actually hurts it. So your sword doesn't do anything in this part of it. Now, I am going to leave you... This looks exactly like Aghanim here. Literally, it looks exactly like him. So we are going to... I don't think you can deflect those. That's the only difference. So you have to come over here and hit him. Oh, maybe you can deflect them. Yes, you can. So it is the same. This is an Aghanim fight from Link to the Past. Yep, that's the same. The third or fourth time he does that to you, so you have to return it. I'm going to leave you guys with a secret if you stick around to the end of this. think this is the blue one. Nope. Hit it back. Okay, so that finishes, I guess that's level 2. What do we have next? Oh, we got Moldorm. Moldorm becomes faster and more aggressive as you he progresses every hit. Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, Moldorm is done. On to level 4, I guess. What do we have now? This is straight up Ganon from Link to the Past, although I think it's just a tiny bit easier in terms of just dodging these things, and then you don't have like a silver arrow situation. Can we try that? I actually don't know. We can also use the magic rod, so let's give that a go. But he definitely hits you with that, and it sucks. He keeps sending birds at you, these keys. And they're pretty fast. I think that's a good way to do it. You will take hits if you do that though, so you kind of have to almost stop yourself along the way. And you can just dodge left, right. It's not too big a deal. The bigger deal is not getting hit by his trident. So in Link to the Past, which again, there's a playthrough of this game here on my channel. You can see the similarities. In fact, I wouldn't even say similarity. It's like an exact copy of one of the moves that Ganon does in that game. So hitting this guy is rough. I think you do have to run into him because I don't think there's any other way to hit him. There's a mosquito in here. Not in the game, in front of my actual face. This guy is hard to hit, so you have to dodge. You have to dodge his trident. You know what? I think I have. I do. I have the medicine. So if anything happens, that will work. I don't know if my mirror shield deflects these guys or not, but I don't want to figure it out here. Oh, I hit him, but then I ran into him as well. All in one solid move. All right, my meds woke me up. Nope, your shield does not work. I wanted to test that. I didn't want to do it earlier when I didn't have any health. So if you almost have to pull back on your run, because if you don't, you get hurt by running into him. Like it just continues to go through after the attack is over. Oh, now he moved. Have him throw it to one side or the other while you run the opposite side. Yep, you'll have more time to dodge. That's true. Because you have to line up straight to do your run. So yeah, you want to have him go that way. Oh, he moves. That's the thing. Okay, I think we got him there. What's this, like level 5? This one's easy enough. You can hit him with the magic rod. Just as he comes at you, you turn and hit him. Okay, that was level 5, I think. Kind of have to be lucky though, obviously. A little bit. Okay, this is all about jumping up and down. And if I remember correctly, his eye is going to appear. So you can hit him. I guess you can only hit him once. This becomes a game of jump rope here. It gets faster and faster, and it gets pretty ridiculous here in a minute. Whoop. Yeah, they're getting faster. You almost have to immediately jump when you do this. There's almost no time in between you jumping and doing the next jump. Whoop. There we go. Yeah, it's getting real fast. Okay. Was that level 6? Was that it? This island is going to disappear. Our world is going to disappear. Our world. Our world. He's not so happy. The evil villain sort of character turns into just like sadness. Our world is over. JP, you have beaten all the nightmares. Climb the stairs before you. Will do. The scenery and the setup to this is wonderful. Hoot. Young lad, I mean JP, the hero, you have defeated the nightmares. You have proven your wisdom, courage, and power. Link, how could you? You will destroy everything. What is up, Dunk Nasty? I think you joined at just the right time, in case you don't want to spoil the ending since you're doing this playthrough. Hopefully, I don't know. We actually mentioned you in the video before, talking about this run through. Actually, you are the perfect candidate to test something that I was just talking about. When you go to the library in Mabe Village, it kind of tells you a way, something that you're gonna need for the final boss. Let's just put it that way so it doesn't spoil it. But what you get changes based on the game that you're playing. It changes based on the save file. That's all I'll give you in case you didn't see the beginning of this video. As part of the Windfish's spirit, I am the guardian of his dream world. But one day, the nightmares entered the dream and began wreaking havoc. Then you, JP, came to rescue the island. I have always trusted in your courage. I knew that you could turn back the nightmares. Thank you, JP. Yeah, so we've just defeated the final boss of this game. So yeah, Dunk Nasty, if you are, I guess how far have you been so far? Maybe you got through level 6, level 7 maybe? My work is done. The Windfish will wake soon. Goodbye, Hoot. Until we see you again in Ocarina of Time, the owl. And here is the Windfish. This has got to be the most morally questionable Zelda game I've ever seen the owl make it seem okay, but it is though. Haven't played in the last few days. Yeah, Link Slayer, I do agree. There is a... One of the reasons I think this game is great is exactly what you just pointed out, is that it is very it's very morally ambiguous as to what's going on. One, because it's a dream state, so it's like, can you just like absolve all of the violence that you have committed during this game? Because it's all just, you know, put it up to a dream. But then it's like the things that happen to all these characters, as you're about to see here. Is it okay? So it's very it is kind of weird. It's weird to have the owl help you, only to sort of think about him as the villain, and you are the one carrying out what he is asking you to do. Or all of these things are a figment of Link himself's imagination, and that's all the things that are happening. I am the Windfish. Long has been my slumber. By the way, this is not the only Leviathan that we see in Zelda games. There are many more. A prominent one is in Skyward Sword. So there's a history of using this type of, I guess, is this a mythological creature, or this idea of a giant floating whale? I mean, we have other things like dragons and things, but to put wings on a whale, it just seems different. In my dreams, an egg appeared. It was surrounded by an island with people, animals, an entire world. But, verily, it be the nature of dreams to end. When I dost awaken, Koholint will be gone. Only the memory of this dreamland will exist in the waking world. Someday, thou may recall this island. That memory makes the dream world real. So, like, these words, they strike you as you know, how much do you believe in that the things that Link is dreaming here manifest into real things? And more importantly, because we know the history of Zelda games as being reincarnations of the same Zelda and Link and Ganon and Ganondorf and the Great Calamity, and all of those things all sort of collect in on themselves. Apologies if this was streamed and I missed it, but I'm wondering, how did you do on the Rapids race? Were you able to get a sub 30 seconds? Actually, this was not on a stream. I actually never went into the Rapids race. I think you have to get a sub 30 to get one of the heart pieces. So, you know, in past playthroughs, I have done that. It is very hard to do. You have to choose the correct way, and of course you have to use your hook shot. It's a chamber stone. Okay, it was one of those. I think maybe there's 2 or 3 different ways you could do it. I do know it's wonderful for rupee farming, but by the time you can open up the Rapids challenge, it's like you really don't need more rupees. The emotions felt, were they even real? Of course they were. Yeah, your emotions are real whether they're a figment of your imagination or not, right? Yeah, that memory makes the dream world real. Yeah, there's levels. 35 is heart piece. Okay, good to know. Let us awaken together. Play the 8 instruments. Play the Song of Awakening. So this is like the saddest thing, because you press the button and here we go, right? Also, it's we've talked about this before, but it's such a haunting song, such a melancholy song. Like there's a hint of hopefulness, and then without getting too musical about it, there is a way that the song kind of declines into this melancholy sort of mode, if you know modes of music. Everything just sort of poofs. Stick around, I'm going to talk about something peculiar that happened here, but just watch this first. This art style is incredible. I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. This is just super cool. I want to see a movie someday that looks like this. Studio Ghibli-esque. I'm also going to point out some things about the music here. There's a little bit of an Easter egg, no pun intended. So you will want to listen through the credits of this, because the ending to a Zelda game is always special. So one of the things that's interesting is, and I've actually never done this. I had to look this up after I finished the game the first time. This remake version, I mean, not the old one. If you beat that final boss without getting hit a single time, which is very, very hard to do, as you guys saw, you get an alternate ending. Does Link ever make it to land again? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know my timeline, like, specifically well. So this Link to the Past Link, or this Link's Awakening Link, is the same as a sequel to Link to the Past and then Link Between Worlds. We've talked about all this sort of stuff in past streams, but also, isn't Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages also the same Link? So those adventures technically happen after this. So yes, I guess the answer is he does. He does get back to land and continues other adventures. Somehow I don't think so. So why do you not think so? I'm curious to know. I believe, if I remember my Hyrule Historia correctly, that is how this specific version of Link, how that all happens. So, or do you mean to say that it's all part of a dream? All these subsequent things are part of a dream? Because one question I always had was, why do you need the being out at sea to be the dream of Koholint? Wouldn't that just make it real, and that it's not a dream? Because what would be the function of being out at sea, other than maybe the idea that people who are out at sea become delusional, like you have no water, you got no vitamin C, the whole limey thing. Pirates who had to eat limes because they get deficient in ascorbic acid. For those of you who want a biochemistry lesson. Okay. Talking too much about random crap. Anyway, the idea was that Link is all delusional because of this whole thing that's happening. But is it necessary? Is it a necessary part of the story to say that, if he just makes it back to land elsewhere and then just continues his journey? Is it possible that the weather holds up and he makes it, but he almost died in one storm? And what if he actually died in the storm and all of that was his dream, not the windfish? Yeah, it's possible. All of those things are possible. So I believe in this version of the game, if you save, then you get the option to do, I think it's called the Hero's Quest or something like that, where everything is harder. You get fewer hearts or something like that. So okay, so let me mention this. I guess we'll continue to play while I talk about some of these things, to get kind of some loose ends and stuff. What I was mentioning before is, if you beat the final boss without taking a single hit, which again is very hard to do, you get an alternate ending. And in that alternate ending, what you get is Marin is in the sky after that seagull flies. And if you recall from a very early meeting with Marin, she talks about being free like a bird. Specifically, she was looking out at the seagulls. I think it was in that one little scene where there's two palm trees and they're sitting on a log, and instead of being top down, the camera is behind them. And you get that same scene in the original Game Boy version. So it's interesting that if you happen to do that, then you get that extra scene. So just to add to more sort of confusion and more speculation about what happens in the game, is this idea that, did Marin get free? Everything else escaped, but Marin is now free and sort of reincarnated, I guess, as a seagull that gets to fly away from all of this. And Link is out at sea and eventually, we're assuming, makes it into new adventures, like we just talked about. So all of those things, very, very interesting. to think about that. I also forgot to mention while I was kind of talking through it, but they did a little tiny 8-bit version of the music from the original game in the end credits. It only happened for like a couple of musical bars, but it was in there. So if you go back and listen to that, you will hear that. I've read that if you beat the game with no deaths, you unlock a different cutscene. Would it be the same one you're talking about? So it's not just no deaths, it's take no damage from the final boss. So you have to do both. I'm pretty sure in this playthrough, I think I may have died once or twice. I died twice, is what it said. The little gravestone there, and to that number 2 there is how many times you died. By the way, this is the same in like Ocarina of Time. There's a little number next to when you have your save file, and it tells you how many times you've died. I don't know if the other games have the same inclusion or not. Now, completely randomly here, I remember in the very, very first dungeon, which is the Tail Cave, it's down here, but our closest warp point is over here. So we're gonna do this real quick. There are rooms of like chests that we've never gotten. There are bombable walls that we never did before we even had bombs. So since today's stream is very short because the boss was you know, effectively only took about 15 minutes to do, let's go ahead and keep playing for a few minutes. I have 1,000,000 rupees, so let's get some bombs. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I think I did, or maybe I put it into a short. But I have no use for. Am I full of bombs? Oh, I do have full bombs. Okay. Way back when we were trying to buy the bow and arrow, which cost a whopping 980 rupees, you can actually steal from this shop. You see how the shop owner follows you, but there's like a small delay. There is a way that you can actually pick up the bow and arrow and walk around him and get out before he sees you, but it only happens like 1 out of every 1,000 chances. So I was not able to successfully do that, but my son mentions that he was able to do that one time. And the guy gets mad at you after you come back to the shop, but by then you have literally stolen the bow and arrow. And so you didn't need all 980 rupees. But let's see what Ulrira says. So in every Zelda game, the tradition is you can go back and defeat the boss, so you never really get like a full, you know, Hyrule has been saved, or Koholint has been saved, or whatever. Are your enemies too strong for you? In that case, you better collect a whole bunch of seashells. Just believe in yourself and do your best. So if you collect enough seashells, I believe in this game it's 25, you get an upgrade to your sword, which is similar to Link to the Past sword, like the Master Sword shoots out that beam when you have full health. So we don't yet have that in this, because I didn't go out of my way to collect too many seashells, just kind of the ones I came across. Let's try to get over to the Tail Cave, if I can remember where it is. It's up and over. So you can get an upgrade like that. I believe there are a few, it's 40 shells for that upgrade. Okay, right, 25 shells was for the old Game Boy. 25 I think was total for the entire Game Boy. Okay, we had the tuning fork from before. So when you come into a region and the tuning fork rings at you like it just did, that means that somewhere nearby, it could be in a tree. It was in the tree. Sometimes it could be something that you dig, and you get seashells that way. Like I said before, there's also dungeons. If you go into certain dungeons and there's a treasure chest you forgot to collect, or you couldn't collect at the time, we're gonna go here. Go northwest, north. I don't remember specifically if there are seashells in places in different maps. So we didn't have the bombs when we did this the first time, because this was literally the first dungeon. So let's check this out and see what's in here. It may just be a rupee, something stupid, but we're gonna check. Oh, tuning, so it's definitely a seashell. Yeah, so it's one of those things. So there's a seashell, in case you are trying to get all of these. I think we have everything in this dungeon. So, let's go ahead and make it real easy and get out of here. I do recall there was another dungeon that had... I never actually figured this out. I don't know if you guys can give me the answer. I can't remember which specific which dungeon it was. It may have just been the next dungeon. So which one was number 2? What was the second dungeon we did? Was it the slime key? Or was it something in... No, Gopunga Swamp was something else. Bottle Grotto? Let's go check the Bottle Grotto. I remember there was a room that was... It was just open, and the compass was beeping at you, telling you that there was a chest there, and we never got it. And I don't know if it was because I was missing an item or if there was something else that was happening and I didn't have a way to get there. Bottle Grotto should be number 2. Okay. The thing is that I don't remember if dungeon number 2 was the one I was talking about, so we can always go through and check different chests. It looks like we got everything in this. All right, what was number 3? If you guys can pull that up, because it was one of these dungeons where I know for a fact there's a room, and maybe you guys can help me out. I don't remember it. I've only ever 100%ed this game once, or maybe I helped my son out to get 100%. I don't exactly recall. But that definitely had to be one of the rooms where that was the case. Number 3 was it this one here? This was later. This is the slime dungeon. Maybe that's 2, or maybe Yarna Desert. There was another one. I don't remember. Let's go here and figure out if this was the one. Angler's Tunnel was number 4. Can I go south to get in? No, I have to go up. Angler's Tunnel was 4. 5 was Catfish Maw, they're both very similar. Was there a... Oh, there's a tuning fork situation here. Let's see. We may as well try these, since I've got time. Usually it's kind of an obvious thing. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have to... Oh, there it was. There was a skull there. One of those, like... Sorry. Gotta go for a minute. You are in the right area because you would just go to... Just got the bracelet. Yeah, okay. So it would be this way. Do you go around? I think you have to go all the way around. Let's go around using this thing. Yeah, we'll see you later, Link Slayer. Oh, we got another tuning fork. Like I said, sometimes it's a tree, sometimes it's you gotta dig, sometimes it's a spot where there would be maybe a secret grotto or a staircase or a cave or anything like that. So the tuning fork is still going off here. Oh, there's a heart piece over there we've never gotten. Oh, I remember leaving that alone because there's holes all through Pothole Field. And the only way through there is through the stairs. Let's go ahead and try to get that. Next to the owl, yeah, that's probably where one of those is. One of the seashells, you mean. You have to go all through this Pothole Field to get over there. So the reason we didn't get this particular heart piece is because at the time I did not have the Pegasus boots, so you have to actually make your way across like that. Turn it down. Whoop. Once you fall, once you get close to it, it sort of gravitates you toward that spot. Okay, so we had a way to get over there, but I don't know if that's gonna be... Yeah, see, it just pulls you in. Now, was it necessary to jump across? Okay, here's the thing. I wonder if you can do this. Oh, you can. Okay, so you gotta jump across here to get there. There we go. So we have increased. You can jump and cut and fall down the hole. Yep. Don't know why I did that. That was the right way to go the first time. There we go. Let's go back to the owl and see if we can find that shell, because that's where we were. And then we're going to make it over to the... I believe it's the slime dungeon. It's not called the slime dungeon, I think. It's called something else. But that's where you beat Slime Eye. That's a long run right there. Okay, tuning fork. Let's see, how do we get up there? Is there a path to the right? There is not a path. Okay, it's gonna go all the way around to get over there. And then we're gonna have to come back to the slime dungeon on the other side. Okay. I think you have to go through this cave. I forgot that the mirror shield actually deflects those right back at him, which is cool. All the rupees. I have 1131 by the way. That's a lot of rupees when you don't need that many. Is this it right here? Oh, that's just a point, a warp point we hadn't done. Okay. Good to know. Okay, where are we going? I feel like I went the wrong way around for this. Where's that platform? It's right up there. How do we get there? Is it through this? Or that's where we came out earlier. Was there another platform over here? Did I just miss it? Well, there's a bombable wall. Okay, these things annoy me now. Alright, there's a bombable wall here, which apparently we've never done. Yeah. This has to be it. Okay. I guess we just walk all our way around. Is there something here? What's the point of this? Just to walk across? Oh, of course I would do that. Force my way all the way around again. What is the point of this? You can't push it. That's why I try to get on the other side. Okay. This should lead out to the owl statue, I'm guessing. Around here, secrets are nigh. Maybe this conspicuous patch of dirt that I try to hit with that instead of a shovel. Oh, it's not. Okay. Alright. What about the top of that thing? Interesting. Alright, we're gonna hit every patch of dirt in here, I guess. We're also gonna bump into this tree. There are spots that won't take... Like if it's a tree, just one below that patch. There's a little bit of a delay between what you guys see and what I'm actually speaking. So, one of these? Yeah, there it is. First one, that is. There we go. Alright, I wish I could jump off this thing. I suppose I could do this. Because it's going to take longer to go all the way around than it is to just go to... Okay, so we're trying to get in here. There. But we have to go the long way around. There's nothing else closer. Alright. Around. Alright. And again, I don't remember if this is... Hey, we never swam over here. There you go. Try everything, right? Again, when you do this dungeon, you don't have the flippers yet. So everything is sort of pointing at the fact that there are more things to do here. That's not what I meant to do. Can I cancel? Yes, I can. Alright, I meant to use my shovel. And I think I already did this, because there's no tuning fork going off or anything like that. So let's go into the slime dungeon. And I will need your help. If this is the right dungeon that I'm thinking of, I need your help in figuring out why I could not get this chest. So it's this one right here. Zelda, Legend of Backtracking. Absolutely. Let's get to this room. Key Cavern, that's what it's called. I have a key. And it's a key that I've never used. Okay, one more room up. So there is supposed to be... In this room, there's supposed to be a treasure chest. Right, I'm assuming right here. Why? Why is there no... Why do I have an extra key? there doesn't seem to be anything in here. In this entire dungeon, there does not seem to be anything that I need a key for. Did I do something wrong? Why is there a treasure chest here? Does anyone have any ideas as to why this is the case? What am I missing here? I have tried that. I have tried bombing this. I have no idea why the game is telling me that there's supposed to be something here. Treasure chest. And I have a key. If you look at my top left underneath my hearts, I have a key. But there's nothing left to unlock in this whole dungeon. Weird, right? Weird. Duck Nasty's thinking about it. You did this dungeon most recently, I suppose. I got 2 Guardian Acorns. Where does this lead me? Far away, do not fear, dash and fly. There's something about a mini key I've read about. Well, now's the time to let me know about said mini key, Dunk Nasty. I have no idea. Maybe I figured this out, 8 years ago or whatever it was when I played this game. Was it 8 years? 7 years ago? But yeah, there's nothing here. Let's drop down. I think there's a hole in this room that you can drop down. Does that get me somewhere? I mean, it would send me to basement 1, but we're already in basement 1. So, not exactly sure here. Are there other spots that we can go to? This is the first floor, sending you down here. And I have no idea. I'm back now, just had to put on some laundry. Okay, Linkslayer, this is officially something we are all confused about, or at least I am, I don't know. Dunk Nasty is looking up the answer. We are in level 3 Key Cavern, where we fought I believe it was the Slime Eye. Now, I'm turning on my Switch now. Okay, Dunk Nasty, thank you. There is a chest in this room. I don't think I can go back as I am. But there is a chest. It says it's supposed to be right here. There's a chest. We have never opened it. It's not actually in this room. And to add to the fact that I have a key that I have never used, but if you look on the map everywhere, including basement 1 level, there are no doors or anything that requires a lock, which means I have already opened up everything. So why on earth kill all enemies on left and right? Left and right of what? This? That still doesn't answer the key question, but let's go ahead and try that. So you're saying that enemy over there is part of this room? We have had issues like that before. So let's go all the way around. See, the thing is, we killed these enemies earlier. So I don't know if it gives you access to that room as well. Let's try it. Does it send you all the way around? And of course the stall childs or whatever, stall children are also there. See, these bombs get reset. That's what I don't know. So let's do that. Okay. There we go. Now we have the chests. Okay, it's just a rupee, but we still wanted to see what the hell that was about. But we still have a key has not been assigned to anything. Did I accidentally... No, I didn't accidentally cover it. That was a diamond. Okay, I was right. I almost questioned it myself. Okay, so we solved the treasure chest. But now what about the key? I have an extra key that has nothing to let's take off this spade. Okay, there's nothing under the spade. I'm literally checking if I accidentally put a marker over like a door that could be unlocked. And so far the answer is there isn't anything. Basement 1 looks like this. There's nothing to be unlocked over here either. Let's take away the heart. Nope. It's all good. Let's take away the spade. Nothing there. Let's take away this diamond. Nope. So literally everything. I feel like they put an extra so you can't get locked. You would think that after this having been the second remake, that was not the case. Or maybe there is a way to soft lock yourself out of a certain room, but I feel like if you're a dungeon designer that you would make sure that wasn't the case. Extra key for no reason, huh? Can anyone look that up? Look up level 3 key cavern, extra key. If I remember right, it was possible to get soft locked here, but I will look it up if you want. Absolutely, I would look it up because we're already done with the game. Now I'm just looking up like weird loose ends. So I'm gonna go back to every dungeon and see if we can get all the treasure chests and things like that, because there are certainly more. So our next spot to go to is going to be the Angler's Tunnel, I believe, is level 4, and then Catfish Maw would be after that. We're just going to check and see if we've gotten all the treasure chests. So that clears up that one. If you weren't here earlier, we cleared up the one in the very first dungeon, the tail dungeon, where there was a bombable wall, and at the time we didn't have bombs because it was the very first dungeon. And there was a room that you needed bombs to access, and there was a shell. That's all it was. It was a shell that was in there. Okay, the Angler's Tunnel, I believe, is over here. But it may be, you can absolutely get locked in 6th dungeon, but you should have Mambo's by then. So I did not have Mambo's song by level 6, but we'll get there eventually and see. Number 6 was a face shrine, I think, right? There's a way to get soft locked. We'll see. We'll get there. I think Dampe's Shack is our best bet to get to the Angler's Tunnel. I don't think there's another way that would give you access. So let's just see. Let's see if we can figure this all out. And if we come across any shells, because we do have the tuning fork now. Okay, that's not the way. The keys pushed me. I'm sure there are also caves like this where I have never unlocked certain things. Okay, here is the Angler's Tunnel. Let's check our map. It looks like the Angler's Tunnel is all clear. It looks like we got everything in here. There's only this one level. Okay, on to the next dungeon. So 5 was the catfish maw. This is the catfish maw down here. I guess this is the closest one, Animal Village. So level 6 is the face shrine. And you're saying there is definitely a soft lock possibility in there. I think my son mentioned playing the face shrine and getting himself stuck. And I didn't believe him. I was like, maybe you just need to check every room. Quite often, you just saw it here. In that, was it the Bottle Grotto or the Key Cavern? It was the Key Cavern, where you have to defeat the enemies that are in rooms that are considered adjacent but don't look that way when you enter them. Which is kind of a weird thing. Let's go north to go west. So sometimes it looks like maybe you got soft locked, but in reality you didn't. I guess this is an easier way to do this. Ah, of course. I don't want to hit the slime thing again. I just want to get across. Perfect. Yeah, you can get stuck because of the crystal switch. Really? A specific crystal switch which would get you locked out of a room? I don't know, man. I do feel like the face, if I remember correctly, the face shrine was the first shrine, the first dungeon that was like heavy on crystal use. I mean, the early dungeons had crystal use, but they were nowhere near the difficulty of, like, say, the Eagle Tower, or the final dungeon, which was like the Turtle Rock dungeon. I'm going the wrong way here. Let's go this way. Where it was like several rooms away before you figured out, okay, we have a seashell here somewhere. There we go. I think we do have to go around the other way. We can go far enough around. Or we can just swim. So the left side of this is this little entrance. You gotta dive and get in. Now, I don't think I had anything in here. I'm pretty sure I did everything in here, because it would suck to have to go back. There were definitely... It might have been the face shrine that had some treasure chest where I never dropped in from the top. And never mind the fact there's also lots of rooms in other dungeons where the treasure chest was literally just like the paste that you get. It looks like we got everything in this dungeon. Okay, that is level 5. Now let's go to the face shrine. Can I do this from here? Whoops. Okay, where was the face shrine? The face shrine was... I believe this is the face shrine here, isn't it? It's funny that I never did... We were talking about it earlier. The rapids is this entire section. Like, it's a big section of the map, and I just never went there. You have to go to this little shack over here, and then you pay like 20 rupees to be able to do this whole thing. This is a big section of the map that you just don't ever even need to touch in this game. So here's the face shrine. And we're going to have to make our way over there. There's a lot in the rapids, yeah. Did a Google search, and the answer is a bit ambiguous. Says there's always a way to get another key or play your ocarina to reset. So the problem with the ocarina is you don't necessarily have to have it when you get into the face shrine. You don't need the ocarina until you get to like the next dungeon, dungeon 7. Is that right? So you could reset with the ocarina if you have it, but if you don't, you could just turn off the console. But so what's funny would be that in the old game, if you reset the console, you would be started at the beginning of the dungeon. So you don't save progress inside. Whereas in this game, if you save, you could get yourself stuck. So that is funny enough, I suppose one reason why you would not want the autosave feature, or you wouldn't want regular saving in a game versus the old school way of saving games. So I feel like saying you might need to play the ocarina to reset means you might need to go back to the entrance. Yeah, save warp would work too. Interesting. So, okay, I hate getting to, because I don't exactly know how to get over here. I think this may be, the seashell mansion might be the closest one. So while we're here, let's see how many seashells we've got. I promise I got stuck. There is always a way to soft lock in games. I think some are harder than others. Yeah, interesting. You must not have enough shells. Okay, well, how many shells do I have? 22. Okay. There's a lot of shells in this game. Okay, let's see if we can make our way. Face shrine must be over here somewhere. Can I go through the water? I didn't know there was always a way to soft lock. Funny. So there are reasons for having a boomerang and reasons not to have them. This is one of them. Crazy how much I forgot after not playing for like 4 days. It is. Like the little details in this thing are wild. So you're saying there's a way to soft lock. Okay, so it looks like the face shrine is one level. And it looks like I've opened up all the treasure chests. I'm interested in where the soft lock would be. So there is a... You're saying it's a crystal room. If you could get stuck by not having put the crystal in the correct spot. But I just don't see how that could happen. I'm looking at the map and trying to just remember where that would even be, how that would be possible. So where's our first crystal is where? Let's walk around and see. Freaking love this music. This is my favorite music. After having seen this, after having just been back to every dungeon, I've talked extensively about how this dungeon music is amazing. If I remember correctly, this is the dungeon here where you go through. Maybe this has something to do with it. Maybe this is some weird anomaly. If you were here for the stream, if you go forward here, there's a door. I don't know why there's a door. When you go through this door, it pops you back into this room. So let me show you that in case you missed that in the live stream that I did. So, yeah, we're in the room. If you go through this door, you'd think you're progressing, but no, it popped you back into this room. So why? Why would they open-end this? What a weird thing to do, right? Do you think that has to do with Mario 64 staircase? Yeah. The thing about the Mario 64 staircase is that eventually you can get it open. This one never opens. You know what I mean? Speaking of Mario 64, that's what's back here. If you joined a little bit after my introduction, my CRT TV behind me has my Mario 64 playing right now. So there you have the old Mario face. You could click on his nose and move him around. Anyway, just random. But yeah, the Mario 64 staircase is one that eventually you can open, and this one does not do that, so it just spits you back out. Why? Why would that happen? Can you do this 20 times and it just gets you through? I don't know. Nope. We're back where we started. Okay, so clearly this is not going to get us anywhere. So let's go back. Let's go over here. Now, I remember specifically this room because it's super annoying that you have to go all the way around. It's like the forest in the original, right? The forest in the original. Oh yeah. In the original Zelda, you mean the quote-unquote Lost Woods. Yeah, it just goes, you go like left, and then it just pops you back around. The thing about if I remember correctly, the Lost Woods in the original Legend of Zelda is that there was a way to walk around that would get you out. But this only has a door to the north and the south, so there isn't some weird combination that would actually get you there. Whereas in that game, there is a combination that will get you into whatever dungeon the Lost Woods was. I don't know, level 4 or something. I don't remember. Yeah, let's try to figure out the soft lock thing. Which room has the crystal? So if I remember correctly, there's also a room. It might be this one in the top left corner where the stairs go outside. And by going outside, you get there's like a heart piece. It pulls you out in like the rapids, sort of like adjacent to the rapids area. So there's that. You should pin crystal locks. Yeah, I did. I think in the next dungeon is when I started pinning crystal locks because it became annoying. I think the crystal is somewhere in this part of the... Oh no, it's right here. I'm pretty sure this is a crystal right here. Let's go that way to verify. So how do I get over there? Let's use the blue spot because that'll be fastest. No, actually fastest is always going to be Mambo Song. Let's play Mambo Song. Almost certain that that's the crystal. There's 2, maybe 3 crystals, I think. In the face shrine? I don't know. I think the face shrine just has the one, and it's right here. But getting over there looks like it's terrible. How are we going to get over there? Let's go left. Let's see. To get there, we need to go this way, this way, this way, left, up, over and around. Staircase. No, that staircase would not do. It's going to be the spade. But the spade gets you here. There's no way around. We're going to need the heart. Sorry, I'm playing this backwards in my head here, but to get to the heart, that also ruins getting here. So how do we access the heart? Okay. This is wild. I'm working myself backwards. To get here, I'm just repeating it over in my head. We're gonna need the spade. Or do we? We could just use a spade. Yeah. We went the wrong way. Let's get to the blue spot. The spade will send us here. That will allow us to go down and over and right. Yeah, let's do that. Now, the only question that is going to answer is, that is where the crystal is. But then how would that lock me out, is the next question. Okay. Now I really wish I'd recorded. I mean, this is all recorded in my game. So we have to go this way. Okay, there's the crystal thing. Oh, there's no way across, is there? I need this thing. Wait a second. This is just the boss fight, isn't it? Yeah. That's just the boss fight. Okay, that's not the crystal then. Okay, now I'm further confused. I want to say I was in the bottom right portion somehow. Well, you're saying you got locked in the bottom right portion, but just because you got locked there doesn't mean that the reason you got locked there had to do with the bottom right. I believe, okay, so this is something that happens to a lot of people in this particular part. A couple funny things happen here. So one, the only way to access this treasure chest, which by the way is the one with all the bottles around it, the ceramic things, because the crystal was in the wrong position. Okay, we're gonna go over here. I think I know what happened to you. And it's something that kind of happened to me the first time I played this. So there are crystals on this side that allow you to get access to be able to open this treasure chest. And then when you get to this room, this section, you have to throw a ceramic pot to open this chest, which is super annoying because one thing I always do is try to throw all those pots to get like hearts and things like that. And then I use the last one before I read the stone, the owl beak statue or whatever. It's also in this room. And he tells you sometimes you need to throw a pot at it. Anyway, it's just funny that that's the case, that's how it happened. But before you get to this spot, the only way across this junction here is to use your hook shot to get across. And if you fall down, or if you have to go all the way around, it forces you to go around this way, up and over, down, back, all the way around, just to get access to this section again. So there's no other possible way to get there if you fall off. And then you have to go all the way around and go to the diamond, I believe the diamond, which is all the way over here. And that, in essence, is why this is super annoying. Because you have to make your way all the way around. So the way to get to the diamond is through the spade that we just did. And the spade is over here. So spade to spade. Then you go around diamond to diamond so that you can make your way here so that you can hook shot your way across this. And somewhere over in some other part of the map is where the crystal would have to be down because there's crystals over here that don't let you access this treasure chest. So the origin of your soft lock is still going to be some crystal over here, but how do you get out of that room for that to happen in the first place? I'm not sure. A roundabout way of trying to analyze what the problem was. Let's warp to the entrance and try to figure this out. Whoops, I did not mean to leave the dungeon. Let's go back. I will show you what I'm talking about. I think I explained it relatively well in terms of getting over here. But yeah, the crystal would be here. So let's make our way to the spade. You're the man for going down this rabbit hole. Hope I'm not. No, absolutely not. We beat this game early today, meaning we did the end credits and all of that stuff. I want to figure this out because people do get stuck, and I guess this could be used as a form of tutorial here. So let's go over here. I believe our way is north. Yeah. So to have access to this, we need the diamond. So let's go up and over to the diamond. And by the way, all of this only works because I had the thought to even put all of my pins down. If you don't do this, it's so hard to re-navigate all of these dungeons. So this is where I placed the diamond. And now we're gonna go across. And we're gonna pop out on the other side of the diamond. Okay. So now we go down and west. Shy away from the pole, boys. I take you as a take the red pill and see how far the rabbit hole goes kind of guy. Absolutely. If I didn't mention it before, I have 2 degrees in science, technically. And so experimenting is something I definitely do all the time. I would not be super analytical if that weren't the case. So the only way across here is the hook shot. And I believe there are crystals over here. There's a crystal right there. So that would not be... Okay, so when I come into a room, the first thing I do is break all the pots. But if you do this first and talk to the owl, to open a treasure chest, use the pots around it. So this thing, for whatever reason, it will not open when you get here the first time. This treasure chest won't open. So you have to literally pick up a pot and break it open, and that's how you get here. So I did the stupid thing. I broke every single pot, and you can't go down here to reset all the pots. I tried as much as I could to do all of this and reset the pots, and it won't do it. So you have to jump down, and that means you have to redo everything because there's no way back around. You'd have to go back around, go up here, and do the spade again. So let's press the crystal and see how that changes everything. So what does that affect? Is there anything over here? No, there's not. Let's see what this affects, because I don't know. I don't remember. Oh look, that's okay. So that treasure chest is the medicine. So we don't need to open that one. I know that for sure. You guys can go back and confirm, but I am positive that that is the secret medicine. So I don't need to open that because I have already got. Oh, I used it in my battle, but that's what it would be. I used it in my final boss battle. So where the hell is the crystal? Because that would be, unless that's the only one, I can't imagine something over here. I feel like it's in this room. Why? I don't know. I feel like there's crystals across this, and this is a room that has the chess pieces that you throw, if I remember correctly. Let's try to make it over there. So how would I make it there the easiest way? Let's go all the way to the beginning of the dungeon. Let's do that. That's what I'm seeing. So, but I don't see why that would get you stuck, is what I'm trying to say. see, here's another crystal. So all that did was make this to where I can't get across it now. So in order to make my way up there, I have to do this, and you could put a bomb down. Let's go across first. See, because this would hold you back from this room. So could you potentially lock yourself out from here? I don't think you can. No, you can't. You could place a bomb down and come back around. Like, you could put a bomb here and close this to where you can't go that way. And then you're here. But then you would just go around the other way. Could that soft lock you? No, that wouldn't soft lock you either. And the reason is because you would just put this block down by changing the direction. So, like, you could potentially throw your boomerang from here, I think. Or you could, let's see if you can hit this with an arrow. This has happened to me before. If you hit this diagonally, yeah, you can do that, and there's no problem whatsoever. So I'm not sure you got soft locked. Wait a tick, what about the original version, since you can't throw diagonally? I thought about that, except you don't actually need to do this diagonally. So let's say, so I don't have to waste an arrow and waste the time. Let's say the blue ones were up and I couldn't get across. You literally just go into this room, the blue ones are up, the orange ones would be down, and you just go down and across. Orange ones are down, and then you hit the crystal from this side. So that should not be a problem. Dunk Nasty is saying not here. So let's keep going, because there's another section over here I believe has the crystal, and it's also what I was talking about earlier, where it says, or where I said earlier that you can, it takes you outside adjacent to the rapids, and from there you can get a heart piece, I think. So let's assume that I had hit these crystals and I could walk across the orange. I remember it was possible to get soft locked somewhere as well, I just don't know where. I mean, there's another crystal here, so I'm not understanding how that could be the case. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here and take your word for it that that was the case, but then, like, even if all I had was like my sword or a boomerang, I could potentially unlock these. So where would I get stuck? So here's one. I could throw my boomerang or hit it with an arrow. It's the same thing. If I want this down, I think this is what I was talking about. It takes you out to a heart piece. Yeah, you grab a heart piece here and it's in the rapids. Huh, what other way would there be to get soft locked? So I could hit that crystal, that's fine. That would put my blue side down. Since we're going this way, what's the function of this? Just to get hit by that, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how you would get soft locked here. I'm not seeing it. Do you get the second bracelet, the power bracelet, in here? And maybe that would... No, that wouldn't soft lock you either, because you can already... I haven't had the need to use the big elephant thing to break a door open. Like, if you can't get in here, you just go back to the room and do the same thing. There's nothing in here. I think there was a key in this room. So when you defeat these enemies, it gives you a key. Go get your laundry, Link Slayer. Yeah, so you defeat these enemies and then it drops a key in this room, if I remember correctly. So that wouldn't lock you out either. Huh. I'd almost have to reset the entire face shrine just to try this again, because I don't know. I can't think of a way to get locked. Very strange. Something else is happening for that to be possible. Or is it possible that you weren't actually soft locked? You just didn't have, you just needed to wander around the map until you found the answer, unfortunately. Okay, that room's accessible as well. That has no implication on this whatsoever. I know this room is technically tricky, but you could still do it, even in the original. But Dunk Nasty was saying he got stuck on this version of the game, so I'm not sure how that would happen. I mean, if you had no arrows, I guess you could get stuck here, but you would just go to the next room, wouldn't you? I suppose that would be possible. Does the mirror shield work to defeat these guys? It does. Obviously, you don't have the mirror shield beforehand when you're doing this, but okay, let's act like we went all the way over here. There was another room that had the crystal. So if I do the crystal from this side, then I can't go around in that direction. So what's over this way? I forgot already. Okay, that's a dead end. Okay, I think maybe this is the answer. This is the answer to the soft lock. If you run out of arrows and you don't have the boomerang yet because you haven't done that side quest, if you were to close that off and then go all the way around over here, come all the way over here, you can't get across there, so naturally you would hit the crystal here. Let's see. You would have to have no boomerang because you haven't done the side quest, which again is not necessary. Let's say you have no arrows and you have no way of getting more arrows because you've already hit all the ceramic pots. And on top of that, you've run out of bombs. So you have no way of placing a bomb here to get your way across. And you can't do that move to get out. I guess you could potentially be soft locked there. Oh, and you have no ocarina to get you out of that spot. That would technically be a way to get soft locked. Is everyone following that? If you're still here with me. I think that would technically do it. Dunk Nasty. If you're still in there. I could see that as a possibility. Moreover, we're gonna do exactly that. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use up all my arrows. I'm trying to replicate it. Okay, here's the thing. You've got no arrows. I'm spamming arrows. No arrows. These are all empty because you've opened them all up. You've got no bombs. There's nothing else in this room. This is the fastest way to get rid of bombs. because I can't lay one down before the other one blows up. Do I technically need to do this? No, but I want to show you that there's no way to get more bombs after this. No, wait, I just thought of something. If I were stuck here, then I would go to that room in the north, which technically takes you outside. And when you go outside, it resets the pots, so you could then get more bombs and get more arrows. Let's assume I don't have an ocarina, and I don't have a boomerang. Can I still make it over there? The answer is yes, I can. So no, I'm pretty sure it's not a soft lock. I think you have to get around. No, there's bombs here too. Look at that. Those bombs will always be there if you go out of the dungeon the other way. Or if you just exit this room, they'll be there when you come back. So I really, the more I do this, the more I'm just confirming that there's no way to get soft locked in here. I'm pretty sure you can't. Wasn't item related. Wasn't item related. Okay. If it's not item related, I can't think of a way to get myself locked out from here. You're saying it wasn't in this area? Because we already verified the other portion of the map where that doesn't happen. So if this orange is down, I can always go outside and reset stuff. I know you said it wasn't item related, but if we do that, there's no reason to get stuck here. You just go around. That's why they make this platform, so you can go around and still jump off. So you're not stuck there. You're not stuck in either of these directions, because these get reset, and you can walk around, whether it's this way or the other way. Okay, if that's up, can I go this way? So that's up. I looked it up. You can get soft lock in the top left corner by misusing the switch and chess pieces. Misusing the switch and chess pieces. Okay, so you're saying over here the chess pieces are up on this side. I need to open this crystal. Perhaps I was just confused. I'm gonna have to go back and find where I was. You might be right, but I'm like 99% certain. The only thing I could do was play the ocarina. I would love for you to walk through this and make your way through it, because I don't see how you could do it. So if these were, so if I remember correctly, this chess piece goes left. So if you throw it from here, it goes left and it lands there. This chess piece also only goes to the left, meaning you can't throw it from here. You have to get this crystal side down, and you have to stand on this this blue spot so that it goes that way and left, and it lands right here. So you're saying misusing the switch and chess pieces, there's a possible way for you to get stuck here. So this chess piece must maybe give you access to what maybe this is. I don't know if this is a key that won't let you access something later. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd almost have to go back and do the face shrine from the beginning just to force myself to get locked. So I don't know. I think I've reached a dead end here. I think the only way to actually test that out would be to try to get yourself locked out. by having reset, which would mean I'd have to play through every single dungeon just to get back here. But that's interesting. I think we may have done all we can do to figure that out, since they don't reset by throwing the chess piece into the locked area. You're saying if this piece were out and I threw it over there, there's no way to get out of here? Something like that? I mean, I'm not sure how that would get you locked out though, because you could still hit that crystal whether from here or from a different room. If you were to throw it over there, yeah, you could just reset it by, you could toss a bomb over there. You could, and the only way you would be locked out is if this blue were up, which it is. But if that blue is up, then this is down, which means you go outside. Crazy Gamer, you have joined us. We're trying to figure out the soft lock issue, and I'm not sure. I've tried to simulate it in a way to see if I could lock myself out, but I'm just not seeing how it's possible. Okay, maybe I just failed to realize I could hit the crystal when blue is up. I mean, yeah, you could hit it from here with, let's say you don't have a boomerang, but you still have the bow and arrow. Or you have the, you could throw a bomb over there. But yeah, you would just yeah, we're talking about a soft lock. Crazy Gamer. I don't know anything about that. Okay, well, Dunk Nasty says he was soft locked, or there's a possible way to get soft locked, but I think the designers of this dungeon covered all their bases, up to and including this, where if you know, when you leave a dungeon by going here and come back inside, it resets pots. So for example, item is not a way to soft lock. If you run out of arrows or bombs or any of the above, you would still have enough to like throw a bomb over there, or whatever. You could do that, and that would unlock this position if for some reason these chess pieces were not in a position where you could use them. So you have to do it from here. Or maybe it was the other one. But either way, I don't think that's a problem. This is what it says online. I remember doing it before as well, but maybe it has something to do with not having certain items. I mean, you can't get, what item requirements do you have to get into this dungeon that wouldn't be accessible? So the bow, if you don't have enough rupees, technically you never got the bow. I think I did this entire section without needing the bow, up to and including getting the key to get here, which includes that section in the northern Yarna desert where all the Armos are, like the statues. Can't you jump down to the switch too? Yeah, you could also jump down to the switch. I didn't even think of that. So if the blue thing were up, then you could always just do that. So yeah, I think they covered all their bases. I don't know how you could possibly soft lock your way. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's almost a challenge to soft lock myself out. I can't think of a way. So yeah, I agree with Linkslayer. It doesn't make sense that you could do that. The only other thing I could think of is that one of these doors is actually one of the ceramic doors, and you need to throw the elephant at it. And obviously, since I've already finished this dungeon, you don't, that ceramic door is already open. Assuming that's a ceramic door. And I don't have a way around, but I don't know. No, don't apologize. It's been interesting trying to trigger a soft lock. If you guys know of other possible soft locks, it would be interesting to try to get that to happen. Sometimes it's item progression in a game. Sometimes it's just the dungeon design allows you to do that. But the more interesting ways to soft lock are not like glitch related. Because if you glitch your way through something, that's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of like just cheating the way the code in the game works. But soft locking yourself, quote unquote, legally in the game, that is truly interesting, because it means either something was not thought of by a designer, or, you know, something else, something that would make sense to do legally within the constraints of the game that would not involve a coding error or a coding glitch. So that's super interesting. Is it possible that the soft lock happens in the original versions of the game and not just the remake? Because maybe one of the things that we reviewed here in this remake version did not exist in the original, and that's why people got soft locked. How come I remember this in the original game? I don't think you were wrong. Yeah, it's possible, but didn't you, Dunk Nasty, didn't you say that it wasn't the original you were playing, it was this version? So it's very intriguing to think about, I think. Alright, in the meantime, we can keep talking about this. I'm gonna go and go to a different dungeon, because the original thing we were doing here was searching through different dungeons, and you're saying it was this version, Dunk Nasty. Man, it's really intriguing. It says so online as well. Huh. I almost want like specifics. Could we get specifics for how you would soft lock yourself, or is it too vague? I don't think I can do it here on this game file, because I've already finished it. So I don't know how that would happen, because I would think it would take certain doors being locked, and maybe the key is somewhere else and I didn't have access to it. So that would be the only way that this experiment that we've been doing for the past few minutes would not be valid, is if there were keys there were locks to keys that I couldn't get in because I didn't have them at the right proper time. That would be the only other way I would think that this would work. Like purposely being soft locked, I mean. So, wow. Interesting all the way. It is as I told you, the switch and the chest pieces. I think you get soft locked with the heart piece chest. I mean, you could get out from there though. That's the problem, is no matter how you look at it, you could get yourself through that door. So I don't see how that would work. Maybe the jump down isn't in the original. Yeah, you'd have to check that. But again, Dunk Nasty said it was in this version. I reiterate that point. He says it was this version. So I'm not sure. There's nothing else I can do without replaying the entire game and getting myself to the face shrine. I can't think of another way to do that. Okay, what's after the face shrine? Level 7, I believe, is Eagle Tower, and then 8 is Turtle Rock. Now, I'm pretty sure I left out treasure chests in Eagle Tower. Almost certain of it. Okay, don't need to be in there. Through here? Now I don't remember. No, that's the other one. Yeah, I'm not sure how you could Google search that. You could search the map. Where's the third bottle, by the way? I think the fishing game actually has more than one bottle. Or it's also possible that if you get enough seashells, that it unlocks the third bottle. That's the other possibility. So one is in the fishing game, one is in the bottles, or bottles, the seashells, and then I actually forget where I got the first one. I think it was given to you. Okay, so yeah, this is something I remember, and I'm pretty sure, obviously we finished the dungeon already, so the only way to get here, this is the first floor, one of the owl statues tells you that you have to drop in from the second floor, or possibly the third floor, I don't remember. There is a key. There's another one over here. Now this one I'm pretty sure is the medicine, because we've already gone over there before. So one of them will be a key. At the very least, one of them will be a key, because it goes there. And literally all this does is lets you access this room so that you don't have to circle around. That's all it does. So even if, let's try to get that key and just figure out if that's the answer. But I'm pretty sure that's all that does. For the sake of completion, let's try to get it. But yeah, we're gonna have to jump in from somewhere to access this floor. And I know I've done it in past games, in past save files. And we don't need this one because it's the medicine. So let's go see about getting there. So dropping in from there. Those are down. The Eagle Tower definitely uses a high amount of dropping in and out of this room many times to be able to get across where you need. Everyone remembers this room. You can also see it on that side. So let me show you that real quick. See the platform on the right side? That's what leads you there. Again, how do we drop in from here? We're going up a floor. So from here, that takes you to this room where you pull the lever and then these two things close off. So we're going to avoid that room. Let's see if there's a point where we can drop off over here. But to do that, I need that crystal to be down. And the only way to get that crystal down, annoyingly, is to go to the, I believe it's the diamond. Takes you there? Does that take you up to this floor? I don't remember. Let's go to the diamond, because I can't think of anything else currently. I think you can just run across if you do this quick enough. Yeah. Let's go to the diamond. See if that's the answer. Okay, nope. Crystal is down. So it's gonna have to be this annoying thing. Never made it. Now you fall down. Have to do it again. Okay. Can we go across from here? Or does this drop you off? Okay, no, there's a crystal again. I took one for the team. Actually, no I didn't. I need to do that. So, orange. But now we have to go around in the same direction going this way. Everything's hitting you. Okay. Alright, now this is down. Where? Wait, we meant to go this way, didn't we? That's a set of stairs that takes us back down to here, I'm assuming. Let's try that. So Oh, hole right next there, next to the switch. This thing here, that drops you down under the... Yeah, I think you're right. Yep. That'll do it. So that's one of them. The other one's on the other side, though. Okay, so that's that key. But then there's also this one over here. So is it just this room? And of course, the key we just got would open here. Which again is just a way to go around because there's like an annoying hole in the wall, or not a hole in the wall. There's some other form of obstacle that won't let us get around. So that's all that is really good for. Just to let you navigate a little more easily. But then there's still this one. And I'm pretty sure this is just like a 50 rupee or something. But how do we get over there is the question. I'm sure it would be a similar hole as on this side. Maybe it's just one of these. You know, these two holes right here. So that's not a hole. So I'm guessing that one is. Maybe that's the answer. So let's try to go that way. Yeah. Let's try to do that. What's the easiest way? Is it just across? I say the easiest way because I'm pretty sure there's crystals on this side that would stop me from doing that. So let's try the diamond first before we try that. Jump off the floor above to reach the chest on the table. Yeah, he tells you the same thing. Let's try this. Oh, it takes you to this room. Okay, so it's not the same area. So even though it looks like that would be there, what this actually does is take you down, not up to this spot. Does the spade do that? Where's the spade? The spade is there. Would it take you here? No, my guess is still dropping into one of these holes. So let's go back around. Let's go south. I'm sure there's going to be a crystal blocking me at some point. If I go south... Or west. I can't go west. There's a block in my way. And if I go south, this is a crystal. So it may be another situation where I have to drop in so I can come back. Which is super annoying in the Eagle Tower. Just to access the third floor, I did not put a... Whatever this is, either does not have a way to get here, or is not connected to anything. That happens sometimes. So, let's see. We have heart, heart, spade, spade, diamond, diamond, circle, circle, triangle, triangle. So there's a single set of stairs that is not connected to anything. That may just be a room that doesn't connect to something else. It's there to access a room, and then you leave that room the same way you came in. That's totally possible. Okay, we're gonna have to drop down. I can't think of a way to get here without doing it, so we're gonna have to go back to the heart room. I don't know if this is the only way, or if I can go this way at all, because it's blocked. Nope, it's blocked off. Oh, that rupee stayed there. Interesting. Okay, because that's blocked off, I think I can do it from here. Yeah, hit that one. Go across. Come back around. Now this is down. Well, there was a 4th floor until you make it fall on level 1 with a large ball in the pillars. Yeah, so you break every platform in this place, and then the 4th floor is just where you go outside and you battle the main boss. That's really all its purpose really is. So now we need to, I think there's a crystal. Do we go back around and there's a crystal on this side? No, I'm thinking of a different room. Which room is that? I just hit everything in that. These crystals are all in different orientations now. So that was like there's a key there. We don't need it now. But there is a way to drop in from there. So, what are we looking at, and where is there another crystal for me to access that side of it? I just did this, didn't I? I came over to this side. That just goes back around. Now I'm completely turned around. Let's go to the blue thing and see where this leads us. Where are we? This is where we fought the Skull Kid, or whatever his name was. Let's go left and let's go ahead and access that door. Because we're here anyway. Here it is. Again, I don't think this does anything other than gives you access so you don't have to go all the way around. But from here, obviously I can't, with the crystal not being down, I can't access that spot. So you do it from this side. And that doesn't help me in this case. Is this it? Let's drop down here. Oh, it takes you all the way down. Okay, wow. Where am I now? Completely in a different spot. Okay. So that was this section. So we needed that to get over here. I don't think that's going to help us get to the platform on the left. I'm just saying that was a way to get here. Still confused. If you are watching this, if you are still watching this, congratulations to your attention span. Because you're a real one. Where else would I go here to access that? I don't know. So, our original thought was this spot here. Have we not accessed this spot? I love this dungeon. Sarcasm is my friend. Yeah. The Eagle Tower is a love-hate relationship, and the music is like mocking you the entire time, because it's like it's like if The Legend of Zelda wrote the song for Jeopardy. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, it's just a thinking song, because you're constantly thinking. This is what your brain sounds like when you're utterly confused about 3D spaces and rooms and mazes. I'm at war with walls and mazes. So, yeah, I think all along our answer is to drop into this hole right here. This one gave me the most trouble, yeah. Why have I not been able to access this room? Diamond? Diamond stairs? Where's... or not diamond. Triangle. Shapes. by the minute as to why I can't get over where I need to go. That doesn't... Oh, it does move that way. Okay, let's try to make it... Oh, that's a one-way door. That doesn't help me either. Crap. The only way I can think of is all the way around this way. This crystal has to be down. Let's try to do that. We're gonna try. I'm sure I locked myself out of the orange crystal or whatever it was. Yep, it's orange. I need that down. Is it over here? Where is it? Okay, there's that one. This dungeon? Yeah. Suvorov Andrei. I'm guessing that's in Russian. Or I cannot read it. Thank you for being here. Unless it's expletives, then that would be hilarious as well. Dunk Nasty here. My phone died. Still watching on the TV. Didn't want you to think I dipped. Okay. Jen Nasty. Is that Mrs. Dunk Nasty? Hilarious. We've got quite the crowd in the live chat in terms of it is indeed. Hi man, good luck. Thank you. Thank you very much, and thanks for tuning in. We have actually beaten this game. We are trying to what's the word? Experiment with, I guess, dungeon design. Is this basically an experiment in dungeon design and how this all works together? So let's go this way. I keep leaving that one down. The reason I'm leaving it down is because there's no way to have that side up so I can access the piece that I need. And I can't remember if it was this one or the next one over that has a crystal that I can use to turn this the other way. I don't know why I'm confused here. I shouldn't be. This used to be the easiest thing to just get across. That's not it. And making this, if I screw up this jump, or actually I need to screw up this jump. That's what it is. Yeah, this is the room. There it was. That was it the whole time. Okay, now we can go around. Now we're gonna go up. And now the crystal should be unlocked on that side, so I can go up. Then we make our way over and across. It's a whole thing. Here we go. Yeah, we haven't seen this room in a while. But we can jump up here. I believe. Yes, so we're gonna go across and jump into this hole. That is what we're doing. Already did that. Don't need to do it again. Get out of my way. Thank you. Okay. So, this is what we thought of earlier. So, in order to get here, which again, this entire last 20 minutes of me playing this game has been just so we can unlock this. It's either a 50 rupee or something useless, but we don't care. We're here for the sake of playing this game. The only way down is through this hole. Let's see if that's true. Absolutely, that was true. This is a long hallway. Tuning fork. Is it a seashell? You need that seashell. If you're trying to do a 100% run, that is not a rupee. You need that seashell. Alright. There we go. Where I live, there is a large amount of Russian influence, but I don't know too much language. Yeah, there's a section, not in my town, but adjacent town, where there's a lot of Russian influence as well. So, Super cool. If you're watching this from like Russia or something, or Ukraine, it's got to be like nighttime, like 9 p.m. or something right now. I don't know. I'm making that up. There's probably a big time difference with how big the country is. Or maybe it's not that and I'm just an idiot right now. Let's warp. And I don't think I left anything out in the final dungeon, which is Turtle Rock. So I'm not so sure I even need to do this, but let's see. I'm actually running over on time. I probably need to go after this one. Let's check it just for the sake of checking it. So the only thing that would be left in this game would be to do heart pieces and what else? The seashells, which they do give you some upgrades that are worth doing. But from here, I don't think I need to do anything else. Oh, there's one up here. That's the medicine. So I remember this specifically. That's just the medicine. So we do have everything. We have everything that this dungeon has to offer in terms of treasure chests. So that is done. I don't think I have enough seashells, but I don't think I'm going to continue to do that. So for those of you who have joined me on this, I guess this is like part 9 of having done Link's Awakening, I thank you very much. The next game we're going to be playing is Super Metroid. So I will remind you guys, I'm doing live streams for retro games on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 11:45 a.m. Central Time. Today's Tuesday, so the next time will be Thursday. I will see you guys in that one. In the meantime, I also am playing Halo Infinite on Wednesday nights. So tomorrow night, I'll be doing some Halo Infinite multiplayer, maybe some Master Chief Collection as well. But I have a fire team I usually play with, and that's a lot of fun, a hell of a lot of joking. So if you guys like that, you'll want to tune in. I try to put up the link to the live stream like a good 24 hours beforehand. So if you hit your bell notification, you will be notified for those. But other than that, thank you guys for joining me. It has been always fun, and we will, as usual, we will be coming back around to Zelda. I can't remember who it was who wanted me to play Ocarina of Time on a live stream, and I will absolutely do that after we have done some Super Metroid. Metroid is also one of those games that is, if you've never played Super Metroid specifically, holy crap, what a game that is. So I hope to see you guys in that one, and we will sign off for this one. It has been a great play. This game is so awesome, as you can see from all the experimentation and stuff that we've been doing after the fact. There's a lot here, not to mention all the differences between the old games and stuff. So, again, thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Peace.